Hi everybody, Nancy here. Today I'm going to do a video on using ZoomNotes and ChatGPT together. I did one yesterday that was pretty awful. It was so bad that I went ahead and I think I've taken it down so nobody can see it because it was really bad. But I've learned so much since yesterday. I've been amazed by ChatGPT, y'all. Oh my gosh. Now I will tell you that if you use it, I think you can get 5 to 10, and I don't know how much, chances to build pictures or whatever you want to do, ask it questions or whatever. You get 5 to 10 a day, and if you want to do more than that, you'll have to pay for a subscription, and that is $19.95. Well, I started using it day before yesterday, and within, I don't know, probably 30 minutes, I used up all the free and said, "Oh no, I gotta have a subscription for this." Now, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, there's other AI packages out there that are cheaper. This one is $20 a month, and I know there's one that you can get for like $50 lifetime. And you know, it may do the same thing. I just don't know. But I've already paid for this month anyways, so I might check that out later. Anyway, like I said, I did it yesterday, and by the time I finished doing the video, I didn't have anything to say about ZoomNotes, and it's like, that's not me, you know. It's always got to work with ZoomNotes. So I kept working, and I figured out the way to use it. And I even learned more things about it yesterday while I was playing. Y'all, oh my gosh, it is so stinking cool. The first thing, you can either put text and tell it what you want it to do, or you can put two images. You can put one or more images, and it will create something from those images that you load in. And then after that, you just keep, once you've created it, well, let me go ahead and just say this. And the reason I even started using it is that I wanted to be able to create images for labels, stickers to put in my day timer. See, if I go back this direction, see, these, it's hard to tell, but those are like 3D cartoons. And I just like the look of that. And that's what I was trying to get to. And here's the Walmart. I just wanted to be able to use this kind of image on my day timer so that I didn't have to read words. I could just look at it, you know. Now, a cool thing that I showed yesterday and won't show again, but I went out and found, I bought some chicken wings and Southwest egg rolls from Chili's day before yesterday, and I wanted to create an image for it. And I thought that I would have to put the two together in order to create that plate of food. And so I thought, well, I've got to do that with ZoomNotes. And let me see, I think this is what I created. Yeah, I went out and I found images on the internet of the two things that I got, the chicken wings and the Southwest rolls. And I put them together in ZoomNotes. I thought I had to. Not necessary. All you have to do is take those two pictures and tell it, if I go here and I go to my photos, and let me see. Let's see if I still have the two photos. I started deleting stuff. This and see, I don't have this. I don't have the egg rolls anymore. I deleted it because I found out you don't need it. Let's do these chips and do done. And then ChatGPT will combine the two, which is so stinking cool to me. And you can tell it what style you want, like if you want a gothic look, or if you wanted a coloring book, or if you wanted a color pencil drawing. And I'll show you where I got that in a minute. So if I say combine, and I'm just going to put 3D. Yesterday I thought I had to put 3D cartoon, and that gives it kind of a bubbly look, but you can just do 3D and it will give you close to the same thing. So I'm just going to type in 3D, and if it's not what I like, that's okay, I can do it again. And then I just push the up arrow. And the thing that you can do, this is the reason I have the ChatGPT on the left and I have ZoomNotes over on the right. So if I'm reading along in my Bible over on let me see where it's at. Here. See, and I see something that I want to create a picture. I'll show you what I'm reading along, and I say, oh, I need for a cartoon picture of Mary saying this to the servants. And I'll show you what it created for me when I did that this morning. But right now it's doing the combined. Well, I don't know what it's combining it with. The thing is, see, I don't know what that is on that. It's a plate and spoons. Oh, there's the food. Oh, shoot. Okay, all it did was create a single picture with all the stuff together in the picture. It didn't combine the two things on the plate, which is what I had done the other day. See, if I go here and look under library, see, I've done 227 pictures in 3 days. I have gone crazy with it. I just love it. See, this is what I created the other day for that meal. So, and all I had to do was put the picture of the chicken wings and a picture of the Southwest, and it put them together. Now, I want to show you a couple of things also. Let me go to another page. Sorry. This is what happens, and this is why I had to redo it anyway, because I get carried away and think of different things to show you. Okay, probably 30 years ago, at least, I drew this image right here. If I can select it. That image right here. And I decided to run it through ChatGPT to see what it would do with it. And if you notice, I did these two and showed you guys yesterday in the old video that may or may not be there. It did these two. Isn't that cool looking? And I used the 3D command for that. It took that picture and made these two things. I love that. Well, last night, I said, well, I'm going to try some more stuff. Try the different options. And I did goth. Look at her here. Ooh. Ooh, she looks rough. And after I finished creating that, I said, do it again. And it's a little bit better, a little less dark, 3D. And then I did this one, was taking this image. What it does is once you create something, then if you just add like a different thing that you want added to it, or you want a different look to it, all you have to do is type those words. You don't have to keep adding the picture. I figured that out. But this is the one I told it I wanted it in all. Isn't that cool looking? And of course, by the time it got to this version that it was doing something different to, it lost the black hair. You can't see the black hair from this image. So she's just all white-headed here. I just love that. See, I just said I want it in all, and that's the image it came up with. This right here, y'all, oh my gosh. All I said was, it took several steps. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, I started here. And I said, I want a goth girl holding an iPad and a can of Coke. No clue why, that's the only things I could think of. That's what it came up with. And then I said, well, I want her to have legs. So it added legs. And that's all I did was I said, add legs. And it automatically added legs to the previous picture. Now it changes the face up a little bit. Then I said, I want her to have on black and white striped stockings. So that's, and it gave her the white hair this time and a different kind of Coke, a bottle Coke instead of a canned Coke. So it doesn't make huge different changes. And then I said, I want a black cat, a tall, skinny black cat. And this is what it created. Then I said, I had this paper right here, this background paper. I added it to the bottom, where I add an image, and I'll show you in a second. But I said, add this paper to the wall behind the girl. And it did, y'all. Oh my gosh, how cute is that? And then I asked for a dog, and I can't tell. I think the one on the left is supposed to be the dog, and then the one on the right is the cat. But they look about the same to me. They both look like cats. But so you just keep adding one word or two words, or instead of I didn't have to add this picture. All I said was all, and it automatically changed it to this. So once it creates the picture, all you have to do is drag and drop it. Now, another thing that I did yesterday, now this right here, it started here with this one. I said, I know that in the Bible somewhere, and I don't know where, well, I do now, it's in Proverbs, but there's a scripture that says there's 7 things that God hates. And that's all I said. Create an image listing the 7 things God hates with images, with pictures. So that's what it did with those little icons. Well, I didn't love those little icons, so I said, do it again. And I wanted on a scroll. And it changed the pictures up ever so slightly. It made the list. Same thing, only different. I just kept saying, well, try it again. And see, it gave different pictures. Then I said, don't put a background. So it didn't put a background. It changed it slightly. And I didn't have to know where it was. That's the cool part. I didn't have to say, okay, go find Proverbs 16 through 19 and create an image with pictures. I just said, find 7 things God hates. That's all I said. Now this surprised me because I told it when I did this, I said, create a sketch note of James 1. Thinking there's no way it's going to know what a sketch note is. And sure enough, it came back with this. Now, it may not necessarily be the way I would do a sketch note, but it includes the pictures and some of the main words. How cool is that? I love that. And that's so funny because, see, I actually drew this probably 15 years ago, and I did use some of the same images. I used the box for a gift, of course, pretty obvious. I used the crown. I used the waves because of what the scripture said, and ChatGPT just did it automatically. And then I started adding different things that I was like, well, that's not what I want. Then I said, this one, give me a big fat king with like in vintage, no, I think this was steampunk style, and that's what it gave me. And when I got that, I said, okay, that's not necessarily what I want. Making not steampunk, just old, and that's what I got. And then I said, no, I really want it to be, pre-Jesus, the Roman Empire. So he dressed him in a Roman outfit. And then I said, give it to me in a line drawing. And it did that one. And then I said, make it a cartoon or a coloring book style. And then I said, go ahead and color it. Use that. I don't know if that's color. I think that's probably markers. So when you use the marker characteristics, then it's going to be colored. Okay, yeah, that's like you have a pen, marker pen. This is color pencils. See the difference? Love it. And then I said, make that into a sticker. So it automatically put the white around the outside edge. And I said, well, put it on a hanging tag. Well, it's hard to see the hanging tag there. So I said, well, make it black. I want the tag to be black. And it did. It made the tag black, but it used the black background. Well, it's hard to see. So I said, get rid of the background. And this is what it created. And you still can't see it because the iPad has a black background now. It's not like an image background. And then I started testing other styles of what they have available. And the way I got, let me get back out of here. Go to make image. I don't really want to make an image, but I want to list available art styles in ChatGPT, and do go. And the way you type those words in, and then you just push the up arrow, and it starts doing its thing. And here's the list. Now, I don't know if you know this or not, but see how you have to scroll to see them all? Well, you can actually use something in ZoomNotes that lets you pull in the whole list, which is interesting because I think when I pulled this question, I used, I'm seeing some other stuff. It created a different list, but if you want to get all of it, you either have to take print screen if you want to have a copy of all this list so you're not constantly having to look it up. I believe this pulled up way more than the one I did yesterday. I must have asked it right. I asked it a different way. Let me see. I'm going to copy I'm going to copy this. This is what I asked for, and do copy. Now I'm going to go to the tools here, and if you look down at the bottom, click on web, and that will take you to one of the last websites you went to. Well, I don't want that, so I'm going to ask for ChatGPT return, and it should open up, except that I'm already running chat. Let me see. Let me pull that down. And no, I'm going to close that altogether and just be using ZoomNotes and do this.com. I need to go to the ChatGPT website, .com, to get that list. Okay, and this is on the web. This is not the app that I downloaded to my iPad, so I'm going to ask it Oh, now I can just paste it because I copied it. Paste, list available art styles, and do go. Search, go. Okay, here's the list down here. Now, if I want to get that whole list that I just created, if you look down on the bottom toolbar, that bottom toolbar is coming from ZoomNotes. So I'm going to get the whole page. If you click on visible area, all you're going to get is what you can see on this screen right here. It's kind of like taking a screenshot. And if you do grab, you can only grab what you can see. So I did whole page. Whole page pulls in all of them, or it should. Okay, for those who haven't been around long enough to discover that, that's a good feature to have. So now I can put that somewhere and not have to guess what art styles I can do for each one of these things. All right, now I'm going to go back to open up my Bible. And this is what I was going to show y'all. If I go out and I look at what's open already. See, there's my Bible and ZoomNotes. And then I want to open ChatGPT with it. Well, heck, it did it again. See, that's another. It's just always so much easier if it's already open. Then all you have to do is take it and drag it and drop it on top. That won't work. Sorry. This is why I had to do it twice yesterday, or have to do this video over. Let's see. If I take that and drag it. Why is it not letting me drag? I just like opening them together here. This way. See, I did a split screen just by dragging and dropping it. So, I don't have chat, so I'm going to open that up. Click on the three buttons, do split view, and then do chat. This one. Now it's done it. And this is what I just did a little while ago. Now, what I envisioned this morning was, let's suppose you're in a class, and it's an anatomy class, and you're taking notes in class, and you need a picture of a drawing of the heart. You've got ChatGPT over on the right. It says ask anything. So you do draw. I'm gonna just put real heart and do sketch. And hit the up arrow, and it does its thing. It's out there creating that picture. And again, I could have done color pencil, but this is just going to be a sketch, and it should be black, I'm assuming, black and white. Takes a little while for it to do. Okay, so now you can include this heart that it's generating right now into your notes while you're in class. Or you could, if he's got an image up on the wall, take a picture of it and use that picture and tell it that you want a sketch of that in your notes. Oh my gosh, y'all. Okay, so now all I have to do, if I want that, is put my pen down on it and just drag it over to my notes in ZoomNotes. And there you have it. Now I say, well, I really wanted it to be color, so I'm going to say color pencil. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to tell it what to do, color pencil. I'm just going to say color pencil. and click on the up arrow. And give it a few seconds. Oh my gosh, y'all. I just, it's special. So now I have a color version of it. And I can click on that, drag, and drop it into ZoomNotes. Okay, then I'm going to go down here and say 3D. 3D. And do up arrow. It's taking that color image that I just created, and it's going to make it 3D, I hope. It's a whole new world. I also told it to outline James 1, chapter 1. See, now it's a 3D image. That's something yesterday I was having such a hard time because I kept saying 3D cartoon. And for some reason, I could not remember the word cartoon. But see, all I had to do was 3D. I didn't need the word cartoon. So, cool. Drag and drop it. Now, what's another thing we might do? Let's do goth, just to see what it'll do. G-O-T-H. And tell it to send. Ooh, it's no telling what that's going to look like. It's a whole new world taking notes now. And what I focused on yesterday was making stickers that you could put of your food or the grocery store or something that you did on that day, so you don't have to use words. I can look at a week's worth of stuff and say, oh, this is what I did this week. And I'll show you that in a second. And again, there's other versions, there's other things out there I know nothing about. I just happened to try the ChatGPT yesterday. A couple months ago, I did a video using something else that to me didn't come out nearly as good. Now, that's too dark. You can't even see that. That's bad. Okay, so you get my point. How to do that. Just add a word down at the bottom and it'll automatically change it for you. Now I'm going to go ahead and close this. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but I haven't been saving anything. I shouldn't have closed it. Let me see. One thing you definitely want to do when you do something like this, go ahead, because I don't know what size those images are. And this particular document is 1,900 pages plus, and I intend to have pictures on every page. So if I do that, then I need to make sure that the images are as small as I can make them. So first thing I'm going to do is click on the grab thing and go down to images and do reduce image resolution. And I want to do it on all pages. And it'll come back and tell me how many it needed to fix. But it will make them smaller. 347 images were changed in the document. I do okay. Now what I like to do sometimes, just because I want to see, I'll select that picture, then I'll go to the images, go to edit, and then do resize, just to see how big it is. Now that's pretty small, 879 by 879. If I want 3/4 of it, then it changed it to 659, do resize, and do done. And it makes it smaller here, but it doesn't matter because it really doesn't affect the resolution that much on notes. You know, if you're not going to blow it up and make a poster out of it, it doesn't have to be a lot of pixels. So do that occasionally to make sure that your images in your document are not adding to the size of your document. Now on this particular page, I know D. I don't know if y'all know the story, but It was Jesus's first miracle. They went to a wedding and they ran out of wine, and Mary went to Jesus and said, they're out of wine. And he basically said, what's that got to do with me? I'm not supposed to do anything yet. But he said that to her, and then she turned to the servants and she said, whatever he says, do it. And I wanted that to be, I wanted an image of that. So let me go back to the chat. I asked for it. Click on that. And I'm going to look at the library and show you. Here it is right here. It created this image right here first. And see, I used color pencil for it. You can see the color pencil now. And then I said, no, put a speech bubble above her head and say, do whatever Jesus says. And I had like a suddenly, oh my gosh, that's all it needs. That's all you need is just do what he says do, and your whole life will be better. So now I've got that. Close that down. And I'm going to open up ZoomNotes again. And I'm going to drag and drop that image that it created. Well, I'll just do copy paste this time since it's on a different screen. So the drag and drop doesn't necessarily work. Okay, so now I have an illustration of the words here. Like I said, you might want to add a heart, or you might want to add an image depicting what's going on this page, so that I don't have to read a bunch of words. All I have to do is look here. Oh, this is where this says this. Love it. Oh my goodness. All right. So, and see, I got it to make the cover for this video. I said, make a banner that says using ZoomNotes and ChatGPT together. Add a little three-dimensional girl and have her cutting out stickers. And that's what it created. You're only limited to your imagination. Okay? Hopefully this one's a little bit better than yesterday. I don't know. I have to listen to it. Until I listen to it, it's like, oh man, I didn't say that. Anyway, y'all have a great day here. Bye.